What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see, we have an intense cut crease, cat eye, and a lip combo today. Feeling very summertime, feeling very ready to go because we're going to dive right into the Jeffree Star Summer Collection. We got the infamous Thirsty eyeshadow palette, the one that sold out really fast, but I also believe it's available in some other locations. I'm not exactly sure yet, but this packaging is on point. The colors are gorgeous and pigmented, and we're just going to dive right into that today, as well as some swatches of all 8 of the liquid lipsticks from this summer collection. Now, my lips are burning a little bit, but you know what? It's all for you guys, and I'm just going to show you all of them. I'm going to swatch the palette, and of course, give you my tea on the products to see if they're good or if they are not. Of course, you want to see the look that I did today with this palette and these lipsticks, then you're going to have to keep on watching. So as you can tell, I zoomed you guys in nice and close, and of course my base and everything is ready to go. All we're missing is eyes and lips, and of course we're going to dive into the eyes first. Obviously, that's why you guys are here, honestly, to see this palette. So I'm so excited about filming this palette today. I'm so excited about playing with it, and this is the Jeffree Star Thirsty Eyeshadow Palette. Just by looking at the packaging, it is absolutely stunning. It has like an orange creamsicle vibe with some water droplets, and you open it up and you're gonna have like peachy shades on the top, you're gonna have metallics in the middle, and you're gonna have some bolds on the bottom. And I'm just obsessed with the packaging. I mean, like the orange creamsicle with like the wood looking texture on it, and it's absolutely stunning. And by the way, full-size mirror. You know we need that shit. So I am just really super excited about playing with this palette with you guys today. I'm really just wanting to do like an edgy, bold, almost a little tiny bit subtle, but really, really bold at the same time, like kind of look. I don't know what I want to go with. I wanted to do like two-tone eyes, but then I was like, that would just be a lot of work and a lot more time consuming, and also the video would be 20 minutes long, and I'm not about to do that. So we have 8 swatches of lipsticks to do, people. We've got to do that at the end of this video. Before we get started, I'm going to show you guys some swatches. So we have Parched, Taste Buds, Bitch, Kumquat, Stroke, Divine, Filthy Rich, Lick, Snatched, Plunge, Subtle, Quench, Submerge, Splash, and Drizzle. So there are the shades right there. The palette is absolutely stunning. And by the way, those metallic shades are no fucking joke. They are very reflective. I'll have to say Divine and Lick are more metallic, while Filthy Rich, Snatched, and Plunge are more like that glitterier hue to them. But honestly, they're a brand new formula from Jeffree Star, so I'm excited about trying them out and trying out a look with this palette. Let's just dive right in, shall we? I'm going to go in with the shade Parched, just kind of set everything down. As you can see, there's pretty much nothing on my eye. It is more of a base shade. There was little to no powder kickback in the pan, just letting you guys know as well. Anyways, we're just going to dive right into the next shade. I'm going to go in with the shade Taste Buds. For the crease, because this color is not sheer, but it doesn't go on as like, oh my god, as I thought it would. I'm gonna go in with the shade Bitch. That went on a lot better than I thought it would be. It is definitely more of like a pressed pigment, so you really have to pack it on but not go too crazy. I went really light with my brush and just kind of packed it on, and it looks much better now. So I'm going to cut my crease because I want to do a cut crease because of the glittery shades, and I really want to make them pop more and of course have a nice sticky base to them. So I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape. Before this base dries, before I go in with this eye, I'm going to go in with the shade Snatched. Okay, so a lot of glitter fallout. Wet the brush might be key. dreaming. actually, that looks pretty stunning. It is very, very glittery, and you can definitely see the reflective property of it. Even applying it with my finger, it gives a very silvery, rose gold reflective look. I'm loving that so far. A little definition on the outer corner, I am going to take the shade Drizzle. Drizzle was being a little bit problematic just because right where the concealer and the shadow met kind of bunched up a little bit, and everywhere else became a little bit you know, patchy, I would say. So whatever, we're just gonna move right along. So I believe it's time for me to do my brow bone highlight, and I really wanted to do something different, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Divine. I really wanted to do something different with this look because I don't want to keep doing like standard looks for you guys. I want to do something more interesting, and I'm a little nervous because I really want to do a liner, like a wing liner with this look, and I want to go in with the shade Huntington Beach, which is this really, really pretty like deep teal shade that I'm going to be swatching later on, but I just love this color and I want to use it as an eyeliner. So let's try it. Shit, I'm actually pretty good at that. Ooh. I can't say too much yet, because, you know, I might fuck it up, but you know what? Let's just... Oh, there it is a little bit. Oh, she's feeling that so much. And I really want to do something a little bit more extreme, like go in and go around the crease. But I just don't know if I want to fuck it up, but at the same time I really want to do it. Not as sharp as I want to be. I mean, that looks pretty sharp, but everywhere else it's not as clean of lines as I want it to be. But honestly, it looks really good for a first attempt at like a cut crease wing eye kind of look. Loving it so far. So now we're gonna go in a corner color, but not a highlight. We're gonna go in with Quench, because you know I was gonna go in with that yellow sooner or later. For a lower lash line, we're gonna go in with the shade Splash. Okay, so it looks like my eyes are done. I'm going to throw on some mascara and some lashes, obviously. And we'll be right back to put on these 8 liquid lipsticks. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I think the eye look came out better than I thought it would. I was so scared that I was going to do it wrong, but you know what? I need to trust my better instincts and not be so nervous or scared to try something new. Now the packaging has the same kind of packaging as the palette. You're going to see the holographic JSC little logo, and you're going to have the rain droplets on it as well. So I'm going to try to go from lightest to darkest kind of thing right here. I'm going to go from this way to this way. Does that make sense? We're going to just start because we need to stop talking because I do that way too often. So we're gonna dive right in to the shade Soft Serve. This is the shade Soft Serve. It's definitely giving me 714 vibes, but a lot more like pinky, and honestly not that streaky. It is a little streaky right now because my lips are really chapped. Don't tell anybody. But honestly, it looks really stunning, and the color is actually quite beautiful too. As you can see, I put a little bit of foundation back on my lips because obviously, you know what's gonna happen. We're gonna go through all these lipsticks. My lips are gonna be dry and cracked, and that's just what's gonna happen. So next, we're gonna go in with the shade Thirst Trap. here's the shade Thirst Trap. Now, I wouldn't say this shade is sheer. I would just say that you definitely have to layer it to get the right intensity. Right now, I have about 2 or 3 coatings on the bottom and 1 to 2 coatings on the top. Definitely have to say it'd probably be a really great lip topper, but by itself it's still very, very stunning. We have the shade 818 in parentheses, which I believe is the area code of Calabasas, I think. Here's the shade 818. Now, honestly, it's stunning. It is such a bright and intense color. I will have to say, though, you can see my lip through it just a little tiny bit because it is a coral shade. Coral shades are fucking hard to make for eyeshadow and for lips. I don't know what it is about them, but this shade is still pretty stunning, and it's definitely more intense than I thought it was. And my lips are getting cracked, but also my foundation around my mouth is starting to separate because you know what? When you wipe away so many lipsticks, it's gonna happen. And so I'm gonna have to fix it a little bit before I go to work. So whatever. Now we're gonna go in with the shade Yummy. Is the shade Yummy, which is definitely giving me the pumpkin pie vibes, but it definitely is a lot more intense. Lips are already burning just a little tiny bit, but you know what? We gotta keep going. We gotta get it going. So next we're gonna go in with Coral Fixation. So here is Coral Fixation. Oh my god, how stunning and bright it is, and it's giving me like summertime right now because it's such a gorgeous shade. We have the shade Cherry Wet. Oh, never mind. It is a little bit more pinky than I thought it would be, but we'll see how it looks on the lip. So here's the shade Cherry Wet. Honestly, I'm obsessed. This is just really stunning. Just 2 more. We can do this. We can do this. So next up we have the shade Fudge Pop, which is the second metallic in this collection. Here's the shade Fudge Pop. This is definitely very 90s inspired look, and it's not a bad color. You definitely have to put a second layer on because by itself it's definitely not as like strong in pigment, if that makes sense. I don't see myself wearing this one as often just because I'm not the biggest fan of like really dark brown lips unless I was going for a specific look, but it's definitely not a bad shade. But not least, we have the shade Huntington Beach, which you saw earlier when I did my eyeliner. We're going to apply it on the lip.
I'll be dreaming, I'll be dreaming, I'll be dreaming, I'll be dreaming.
Here is the shade Huntington Beach. And now I'm very happy to say I am no longer swatching any more lipsticks right now, maybe for the rest of the week, we'll see. So this is the final look, and I'm actually loving the way that this is looking right now. It definitely came out very amazing and very stunning. Let's just start off with the star of this Jeffree Star collection. That is the Thirsty eyeshadow palette. Now, I will have to say, at first, the metallics in the middle are very intimidating, but at the same time, if you wet your brush, if you apply with your finger, if you blend it to perfection, I feel like it definitely will apply nicely. It's Taste Buds and Bitch. They definitely were not as pigmented up front as I wanted them to be, but they did blend and build beautifully, which is a great thing as well. And the shade Drizzle had a little bit of issues for me. It wasn't as pigmented as I wanted it to be, but also it just didn't want to blend as easily for me, which is crazy, but honestly it still doesn't look half that bad. But then the shade Splash and Quench were really pigmented as well. The only shades in the palette from just by using it today, the shade Quench and Drizzle were the only ones that really had a lot of a powder kickback. Everything else was completely fine. The palette retails for $48, and I will say right now, even though I had a few tiny minor issues, I think this palette is worth it. I think it's such a beautiful, stunning, and pigmented palette, and I feel like the palette is just sickening. honestly. And you know what? Jeffree Star has not steered me wrong with his eyeshadows at all. His formulation is very great, especially his mattes because they're very buttery. And I definitely think that this palette is definitely unique and very different. But this one screams summer, and I feel like I cannot wait to use more and more and more of the shades. Now, let's talk about the lipsticks really quick. Of course, I did not pick up anything else from the collection. I did not pick up the mirrors and the bags, which are all on pre-order right now. And I did not pick up the lip scrubs because I'm not even done with the lip scrub I already have from Jeffree Star. I'm just going to say right off the bat, I was not a biggest fan of Fudge Pop. I feel like the shade was a little streaky. And of course, you have to build it up to make the desired pigment. I feel like over top of a brown lipstick this might be pretty, of course, just like a topper, but I would have to say this one was just kind of underwhelming for me, and I didn't love the color as much. I don't gravitate towards colors like this, but it's a pretty color. We have the shade Soft Serve, which I feel like was such a beautiful baby pink kind of corally shade. It definitely was a little tiny bit streaky though, but it still was a very stunning shade. We have the shade Yummy, which I feel like Yummy was a really interesting shade because it reminds me of Pumpkin Pie, but a lot deeper and a lot more orange to it. And definitely has that glittery effect. I was not as in love, but at the same time, I did love this shade as well. We have 818, which I feel like, honestly, is such a bright, beautiful, like kind of like a deep coral. And this one did not go on streaky. This one went on full pigment, full ready to go, and this one actually was very, very stunning. Now we have Cherry Wet, which I feel like is such a beautiful and unique shade. It almost reminds me of Masochist, but at the same time it also has a lot more pink and a lot more like a red base to it, and it's actually stunning. We have the shade Coral Fixation, which is definitely one of my favorites because it is so bright and in your face and neon, and at the same time it went on beautifully and it was not streaky. It went on and picked up pigment like that, and it was so pretty. Also have Thirst Trap, which honestly I really loved this shade. It was such a unique shade, and I would definitely say putting it as a lip topper is what I'm going to be doing with this one. Huntington Beach is what I'm wearing on my lips and my eyes. Beautiful color. I have nothing else to say but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. And I absolutely love Jeffree Star's formulations. I love his products. He's one of my absolute favorite brands, and I just absolutely loved this summer collection. And I'm really obsessed with the look that I came up with today. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you thumbs it up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the very near future. Love you. Bye.